Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Krista Christensen. I'm a physical therapist and former professional dancer. And today we are chatting with Miko Fogarty, the one and only. She was a professional dancer at Birmingham Royal Ballet and won many awards for her dancing and is now in podiatry school to become a foot surgeon, right? Super exciting things.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I feel very honored to be welcomed. So thank you
Yes.
so much.
Yes, absolutely. So I just think it's wonderful to chat with people that are in your position that have gone through both the transition of an aspiring professional dancer to professional dance
Hmm.
and have transitioned from dancing to a healthcare career that you are hoping to turn into working with dancers, which is a wonderful thing. And both of those transitions can be really hard. So
Hmm.
what I've done is created a platform, an app where dancers can get support in both of those transitions. And so I think it's lovely to bring in people who have been through that
Hmm.
to help encourage others who are going through the process. So thank you, Mika,
Yeah.
for joining. Great. So I would first just love to hear about your experience as a young dancer and how you ended up dancing professionally. What do you think contributed to your success in that?
Yeah, I guess I started when I was 4 and I started competing a bit more around the age of 9. And that's kind of when I saw the world of ballet in terms of the amazing talent there is worldwide, especially when I attended the YGP finals the first time when I was 9. And so I guess that's kind of when I started getting a bit more serious with my training, and I found different teachers, different coaches at that time, and started having more private lessons. And yeah, really started working a lot on my technique around that age. And then, yeah, each year I would prepare my variations for different competitions. And by the time I was like 13 or 14, I started dancing in more like galas and performances too. And then, yeah, that just kept going, just kept training really hard. Started homeschooling at the age of 12 to accommodate my ballet training schedule. And yeah, it was very intense days at that time of my life, but I was very, very devoted, and my family was very devoted too. So, yeah, that's kind of what my life revolved around when I was growing up, was ballet for sure.
Yeah. So it sounds to me like having those private lessons were what you feel really helped you, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I felt like I improved a lot because of my private lesson, that one-on-one time I had with
Mhm.
my teacher, where we really focused on different aspects of my technique and my artistry. And having that every week was very beneficial, I would say, to my training.
Yeah. And how did you deal with the feelings of maybe nervousness before you go on stage
Mhm.
or the feelings of self-doubt? Because I know a lot of dancers struggle with those things.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of dancers do struggle with self-doubt and also nervousness before going on stage, especially when you have the pressure of doing something really intense or something quite challenging on stage. You have a little bit of nerves because you're not sure if it's going to work out on stage. And for me, that was always turns on stage, like in my variations or different performances. I felt pressure to turn really well. So, and that was like the least consistent part of my variations, I would say. So I was not always sure they were going to work out on stage, but yeah, I would definitely get nervous for sure for those. But actually, I realized throughout my years of performing that the nervousness actually helped me perform better on stage. That is not the case with everybody. Nerves don't always help, but for me, I think the bit of adrenaline helped push me to, I guess, dance better on stage. So that worked for me, even though it wasn't a pleasant feeling, I would say. But I guess the adrenaline helped me dance well on stage. But also self doubt is something I definitely struggled with, especially about the time starting around like 14 or 15 and onwards, I definitely dealt with that for sure. Um, Especially like with my body image and stuff like that is something I definitely struggled with at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. And how did that self-doubt evolve over time from being like a younger dancer to a more mature dancer?
Well, I would say at the beginning, like when I was really young, I didn't have any self-doubt. Like I was like, I can do this, like uh, I can do anything. And then, as you grow older, you might compare yourself a bit more with other people. And um,
Just
yeah, I guess,
more pressure to be the best,
yeah, yes,
like
exactly.
live up to expectations and
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Like, especially because I was growing my social media presence and also with like the first documentary I was in, like, came out. And so I felt there was definitely more eyes watching me during performances, like, really seeing if I was up to I don't know, what people were saying. And so that definitely put more pressure on me performing well with every performance.
yeah.
So, yeah, definitely dealt with that.
Yeah. Do you have any tips for handling those feelings of self-doubt or, how to
Mhm.
overcome that?
Yeah, I mean, I would say definitely don't compare yourself to other people. Like, everybody has their own journey
Yeah.
with life, not even just dance, but with life. And so
Mm-hmm.
you never know what someone's journey will look like. And, there's people that are amazing at 10 years old that, don't continue dancing, or there's people that don't even look great at 10, but when they're 20 years old, they suddenly like look amazing. So everyone's,
Yeah.
journey is different in dance. And so the only thing you can really do for yourself is to, put the work in yourself and try your very best. And that's all you can ask from you. So I would say definitely don't compare your journey to others.
Mm,
I would
that's
say.
so good. Yeah. Just focus on yourself, doing your best, being true to
Mhm.
yourself,
Mhm.
following your path.
Yeah,
That's all
exactly.
really good. That's great.
Yeah.
Another difficult transition for dancers is deciding what company to go for. So, how did you end up deciding on Birmingham Royal Ballet?
hmm well, for me, I didn't have an American passport at the time, so it would have been a little bit harder for me to work in the States.
Mhm.
But I did have a British passport, so Birmingham Royal Ballet was actually the very first company I auditioned with,
Mhm.
and I got the contract that day, so that was like really special.
Exciting.
I know, so exciting. And I really only took a class, and they looked at some of my photos and stuff, and that was really it, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I really liked the repertoire, and I liked the people in the company, so I decided to give it a go and join that company.
Right. And tell us a little bit about your experience of dancing professionally. You found a company that you felt like was a good fit for you. You got
hmm
into it, and then what? How was that?
Yeah, well, I started, with their full season, and it was kind of, I guess, what I expected with the company. I knew that I would be starting the corps de ballet, and so we didn't really have too much rehearsal time. I would say, like, we would only rehearse like 2 weeks or 3 weeks max, like before starting performances. And so we did a big run of Swan Lake where we toured around the country, in the UK. And then like literally rehearsed 1 week for Nutcracker, and then did Nutcrackers. It was like a lot of performances, like
Yeah.
up to usually like 8 performances a week, sometimes 7 or 9, but around 8 performances a week. So it was a lot of performing, and I was in every single act of every single show of Swan Lake, every act.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think we did like 60 shows or something like that, like pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean the company was amazing in terms of like the people. Um the people in the company are so welcoming and so nice, and I still talk to some of them to this day, and I really really enjoyed working with the people in the company. But I think what was hard at the time was I was struggling with my relationship with ballet in general. Like I was figuring out if this was the career for me, because I didn't get the euphoria or joy that people sometimes get when they perform.
Mm-hmm.
And I was dealing with some injuries and again, like the body image stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like starting to feel kind of tired of all of that. And so I was starting to think about other careers too. So that was kind of a big transition period in my life, was
Right.
that company.
Right, right. And you had told me before that you had some foot stuff going on, right? Which
Yeah.
led to kind of your decision of what to do next with your life. But looking back on going through those injuries, what would you say to someone who is dealing with a similar situation?
Uh, I always dancers that are going through injuries because it is such a tough time, and anybody who has an injury, it's like especially like a foot injury, it's very difficult because it, like, a lot of times you can't walk on it and it really impacts your life a lot. And going back to myself when I was injured, I remember I was pretty depressed.
Yeah.
Like, it was a very hard time not being able to even walk because I had broken my second metatarsal, so I had to keep it non-weight bearing and everything. Gosh, it's but I would say, try to explore other parts of your life, especially if you are a dancer. That's kind of all you think about usually. This is a great opportunity to explore other areas of life and also grow yourself as an artist, as a person, and who knows, that may lead to like your next career, which is what it did for me. So
Exactly.
yeah, I learned a lot about like different exercises to strengthen at the time, and I definitely kept going to Pilates, which helped me stay strong.
Mhm.
And yeah, that really kind of, without me knowing it, really kind of started my journey towards healthcare. So it can be a blessing in disguise for sure.
Yes, I feel the same way. Yeah. So sometimes you're going through really hard things and you're
Hmm.
stressed and you're wondering why and you're really hating it, but you can really take those lemons in life and make lemonade, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, you can
exactly.
really learn from it and make something beautiful out of it. Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, awesome. So you were talking to me a little bit about that's sort of when, you were deciding maybe there's other parts to me than just being a dancer. With
Hmm.
not just being a dancer as if it's not a lot, but like you're thinking, oh, well, I have other interests as well.
Hmm.
Um, Tell me about that because I know that that's always so hard when you identify like your identity is dance
Hmm.
and then you go
Hmm.
to do something else that can be really a hard transition. So how was that
Yeah.
for you?
So hard. I would say, yeah, like you said, like my whole identity was being a dancer and being a ballet dancer. And so when I was deciding to leave, I was like, wow, I have to leave this all behind and start from complete scratch. Because I hadn't really gone to high school. Like I did high school online and I did get a high school degree, but I did not spend one class like on a high school campus or anything. And so, wow, I really have to like figure out everything.
Yeah.
So that was kind of scary. But once I made this decision to leave ballet as a professional career and start college, it felt right for me and my journey at the time. But what was actually more difficult was like opening up to people in my life, and especially people in the ballet
Mhm.
world. And that was very difficult for me. I guess I was afraid of disappointment. I was afraid of, I don't know,
Mhm.
like people being let down that I didn't continue. But, through that process, I also learned that people are happy for you if they can see that you're thriving in life. And, people have their own issues, like going on, like people don't care as much as you think they do. Like everyone's worried about themselves first and foremost. So, again, if they see that you're happy in what you're doing, they'll be happy for you too. And so that's what I learned through that. And I followed kind of what I wanted to do and what I was passionate about. Started from community college, um, and took 2 years in community college before transferring to UC Berkeley, finishing off my biology degree there, and then taking a research year, and then now grad school.
You go, girl.
Thank you.
That's so work. It's so much work. But yeah, going back to that transition, it's like I think especially as dancers, we tend to kind of be people pleasers in a way because we're always like looking for approval from like our teachers or our directors, and we want to be the one that's chosen for the part, or we want to, and so it kind of breeds this feeling of like, I need this approval from the people in the dance world, right? And so,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, that definitely is a mindset shift to realize that like this is your life. You have full control over it, and whatever decision you make, there is no right or wrong decision.
Yeah.
No, I think that was something that I learned too. Is like it's not black and white. It's not right and wrong. It's just like you choose what you want to do, and you'll make it beautiful if you just follow your intuition and like what you're really wanting to do.
Yeah, I love that. That's exactly what I learned too, for sure. And it's like you have this amazing life and you can really make the most out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So don't continue doing something you're not happy doing if there's another path. Like some people don't have the privilege of changing careers, and that is a privilege to be able to do that. So if you have the opportunity to explore something you're interested in, like go for it.
Yeah.
Like you don't know like what it can lead to, and it could be something amazing. So yeah.
Absolutely. That's so good. And then, so tell me a little bit about how your relationship with the ballet world is now that you're out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything that surprised you?
Yes, actually, like when I was leaving ballet, like I thought that I was leaving it 100% behind. Like I could either be a part of the ballet world or
Mm-hmm.
not. Um, and I had come to terms that I would not even be a part of the ballet world anymore. But that's completely not true. Like these days, I get to teach a lot. Like whenever I have time off of grad school, I'm teaching ballet, and I'm still very much connected through social media. Ton of my friends are ballet dancers, and I go see the ballet like once a month at
Yeah.
least. So it's like I'm still so connected with the ballet world, and it's going to be a part of my life forever. So I think that's been really, really nice, like being able to keep that part of my life, because I was really kind of sad that it was not going to be a part of my life. But actually, that's not true. Like, you don't have to completely let go of ballet if you're leaving it as a dancer. There's so many ways to contribute. Even with this app, like helping dancers or being connected is definitely an option forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been really, really nice, is being able to stay connected even not being a professional
Yeah.
dancer.
So you're still you. You didn't like leave you
Yes,
behind. You're still you. You're just you 2.0, like expansion, right? Beautiful.
exactly, exactly. I
And
agree.
so beautiful. Awesome. So what would you say to dancers who are considering transitioning from dance to a second career?
Oh, I would say I know this is like a hard time in your life, because it was definitely a hard time for me. It was the hardest year of my life, no doubt. Um, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and go again for what you're passionate about. And if you need any guidance, like you can check Krista's app, or even like DM me anytime, or DM us anytime, because like it is nice to have support and help during that kind of time in your life. During times of transition, it can be quite difficult. Um, but I would say, yeah, go for what you want in your life, and don't be afraid to hold back, and use the experiences that you had in ballet to help you too.
Yeah,
Like many dancers, I feel like grew up pretty quickly growing up, um, and you can use that to your advantage and all your experiences that you've had. So
abs-
no worries.
absolutely. Yes. Oh, my heart. I love it. I second everything you said, and I'm just so thankful that you can share your experience with us and be
Mhm.
encouraging to other dancers transitioning. So thank you,
Yeah.
Miko.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a
Yeah.
pleasure.
All right. Have a good one.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Wow, I hope you enjoyed that interview with Miko as much as I did. I want to let you know where you can find more resources to support you through those transitions that Miko made and that I made as well. The first one is called Dance Pro, and it's a coaching program for dancers that are transitioning to becoming a professional dancer. The second one is the transition from being a professional dancer to being a medical professional that works with dancers, and that one is called Med Pro. You can find both Dance Pro and Med Pro on my app, Dance Evolution. It's both in the Apple App Store and on Google Play. You can download it for free. Now, even if you're not interested in those two coaching programs for those big transition times, the app is there for supporting dancers through the entirety of their dance career. So on the app, you're going to find information about the science of dance, dance technique, conditioning for dance, coaching for dancers, classes, interviews, resources, you name it. So if you are a dancer or were a dancer, you're on any sort of that spectrum, go ahead and download the Dance Evolution app to get some really meaningful support. Thank you for watching this video with Miko, and I hope it was an inspiration to you. I know it was to me. Talk soon.